Hello.
Why? Why is it funny? It's been ages since we've done this and it was only last week.
I know, because so much has happened in between.
Yeah.
That's why.
And it's been really, really, really busy and we've had a little chance to do chit-chat. We've had to do actual work.
We have, which hasn't been good. Yeah. It's like proper raining on our parade.
I know. I'm going to take these off actually. But because
Why?
I hate recording and you can see, because you see like the reflection of the screen
Oh,
and stuff.
do you know, I've never noticed that.
So whenever I
I've
watch
never-
it back, I always think, oh, you can see everything, but these are the missing glasses.
Oh, tell us about the missing. So for those who haven't been following from day one, tell us the story from start to finish. Go on.
I love glasses, so I have loads of different jazzy pairs. These don't look that jazzy, but they are pink, you can't really tell. And I bought them about a month ago.
Pretty in.
Yeah, I love them. I bought them about a month ago, wore them for about a week, and then they completely vanished off the surface of the earth. And I keep my glasses away from where the kids can get them usually, because Lennon's got a thing for glasses. And
I wonder where he gets that
I
from.
know. He just walks around looking like Timmy Mallet in my glasses. And Adam was when my daughter's not here, she's at uni, her bedroom turns into like the role play room. They'll play all the games in there. And the other day it was the doctors. So they were making my husband lay on the bed and he was being the patient and they threw a suitcase, their little like suitcase on wheels, like a Spider-Man one. My God, Daddy, that you need your suitcase. And so he unzipped the suitcase just to see what was in it out of interest. And there was my blooming glasses. They'd
been hidden in there, had they?
hidden. So they've been missing in the suitcase. So now I'm thinking, where's everything else hidden?
So anything that's randomly gone missing,
Yeah.
I think you should check there
I know.
first.
Well, I told you about
should,
Adam's phone, didn't I? That had gone missing, and we'd literally gone back to the shop that we'd been in. We'd been everywhere. We tried to find my phone, tried to see if it was in the car connecting it. Got totally gone missing, and then Lennon just said it was only 2, so it's not really reliable source of information. It's on the trampoline, Daddy, and it was on the trampoline.
Random, very random, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So this was his phone, was it?
Yeah, his phone, yeah.
So presumably the elements hadn't got to it. You got to the
No,
phone
it
in
was
time.
only got some little bounce boards, so that they're brilliant, by the way. I feel like we need to put a link to them because I've got 2 very energetic children and they're indoor bounce boards and they're basically like a bit of plastic and a soft rubbery top and then some foam feet, so they're a lot more dense than a trampoline. You don't fully bounce. But I put them in the front room and then I put like Danny Go or Jamie's Yoga or something on. And they're brilliant just for getting some energy out.
Rid of that energy.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I mean, I would love trampolines, but trampolines are banned in our house. Paul's got a real fear of them. He read a statistic once that's never left him, and I was like, "She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine." Took her to a jump ink near us. What did she do?
She
hurt her neck.
I mean, no, I'm the same with them.
Yeah,
And bouncy castles.
It was the. I watched her do it. She fell in slow motion that she couldn't possibly have hurt herself, but she did.
Yeah.
So we took her to this, is it chiropractor? Yeah. So we took her to that, and it obviously sorted it all out. Apparently the muscle had gone through some, where it shouldn't have been.
God.
So he rejigged all that, but Paul like, that is it. No more.
I totally agree.
So we're not allowed.
No, I totally agree. Perry got invited to a bouncy castle party last week, and I was like, oh God, because I once had a bouncy castle party and I ended up biting through my lip. And so I was like, oh God, and he's so rough and like unaware of his surroundings or other people.
Yeah.
But luckily it was only up for half an hour and then it got a puncture.
Oh, that wasn't anything to do with you, was it? Did you go around the... Are you sure now? Because we can you can confess here. It's not a problem.
No. He got a puncture. So I feel bad for the little girl whose party it was, but it actually ended up being a great party because they did loads of old school proper pasta parcel, musical statues, real decent party games. So that was great. Anyway,
that's good.
we've always said hello and who we are.
We're not
great on the spot. Right, well there we go. So hello everybody, welcome to episode 5.
Yeah. I know.
5 already.
I know. I only feel like we're scratching the surface as well whenever we do these.
Leanne does a really good thing where she puts our names here, so I don't even really need to
Yeah.
introduce us anymore. So there we go. That's us. Yeah, 5. And also, just to acknowledge, this week is our 2 months of being ICAN
Oh, what
anniversary.
have we done in 2
I
months?
know, an ICAN
ICAN-a-versary.
anniversary. It does not feel like that, does it? It feels like a
Yeah,
minute and 4 years all at once.
it does. It does. It does feel like I think that call we had the other day, summed it up, didn't it? Where they said, she said, I cannot believe you've been going just 2 months. Your brand looks so well
Yeah,
established,
it's
and
yeah. And yeah,
yeah, and I thought that's a really, coming from her as well, that was
yeah,
a really high compliment, wasn't it? So yeah.
huge. Sorry, I was just reading an email then. I've been a cheeky monkey. I'll say this on the podcast because I don't care. Everyone knows I'm cheeky. So I was just perusing the internet like I do.
Mm.
And oh, do you know what? I'll just see if Michael Rosen wants to come on the podcast.
Do it.
I,
Yeah. Do
I already have Liam, and we've had an
have
email back from his
you?
agent.
Have you? What does it say?
Um,
He's inundated with requests.
it's a consideration. Need some more information.
Brilliant,
But I
brilliant.
just kind of like my approach to everything, not just for ICANN, but for my own career, both in my day job and in this, is just like in for a penny, in for a pound. I'll give anything a go. And I just thought it's really, really active. It'd be a really cool guest to have. Obviously, his time is valuable. Might not be doable at this point, but it's one just to plant the seed of who we are to these people as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If
So,
you don't ask, you don't know, do you? Yeah.
exactly. So there we go. Watch his
But that's
things.
good. That's really good because I've been watching him. Not watching him. I've been watching him. I've been watching his little, where he goes
Yeah.
and things. We're big fans of him in our house. Neither obviously bear hunt and but chocolate cake. Have you read the chocolate cake one?
Well,
Your boys would love his book, Chocolate Cake.
oh
It is
no.
really, really good.
Faith used to
Yeah.
love them when she was younger. Is it chocolate cake? Don't throw fruit at the computer.
No, no, it's not that one. That must be
I
another
cannot
one.
think what that one is. She used to it when she was literally about 3, and I can still hear her perfectly in my ears like it's today. She'd recite
Oh.
the whole book.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, the chocolate cake it's really good. I remember when we were in during COVID and the obviously I home educate, so we had a few groups that we used to sort of do lessons with, and the different mums used to take charge of the different lessons. I did a Roald Dahl one, which was really good. We went through the whole of the Roald Dahl books. That was, I mean, that was more for like
Yeah.
me than for the kids, to be honest. It was really, really good. And then the other one was things like the book Chocolate Cake. So we made, the kids in their own time before they come on the Zoom made a chocolate cake, and then we read the book together
What
and we
was
did like
it?
a few activities. So yeah, so
Mad
it's
What was
got
it?
quite it's really good. Yeah,
I'm gonna
the
write
end
it down
pages
now.
are good. And when I was doing thinking about my paperback, I wanted to emulate that. I wanted to emulate the size of it, the end pages, the feel and the quality of it, because it's just such a good book. That's the one.
I've never
And
seen it.
we made chocolate cakes that looked like that.
Oh
So at the
wow.
end of the Zoom, all the children were showing their chocolate cakes off. It was really good.
Wow,
Yeah, it was
that's
really
great.
good.
No, I've never. That's
Yeah.
yeah. So go on then. What's your favourite Roald Dahl book?
Oh, so can I just tell you where my love of Roald Dahl
Yeah.
started? So I remember I think I was about, it was about 1984. So it must have been about 4 or 5. I can't believe I've just revealed my age there. Oh dear.
You mean 1994? Yes.
1994, yeah. And I remember sitting in our class, and the teacher, she was a really old teacher, you classic old, like hunched over a
Mm.
little bit with the big glasses and a big white hair. And she was called Mrs. Haller, and she was lovely. And she used to get really excited about books. And she came in and she said, "Everybody sit on the carpet. I've got some really, really exciting news. We've had some books delivered. It's a brand new book that's come out last year called the BFG." And we were all,
Oh,
ooh, like you do. Anyway, she said, "I'm going to read a portion of it every day for a week. And then at the end of the week, you all get the book to take home," which was brilliant.
wow.
So I'm just sat there. So I remember sitting on the carpet. And I just remember from about 2 minutes in, I was hooked. everything in the room, I remember feeling, wasn't there, and I was, like, transported to this magical place, and I just every day I ran into school willing for the end of the day when it was that story time, and just willing for this book to be read. And I just developed this absolutely massive love of Roald Dahl, and then obviously
Oh,
devoured
I
everything.
love that.
So when it came to COVID and doing that, the enthusiasm
Yeah, yeah.
that obviously I was sort of teaching it with, really, the kids really loved it. Absolutely, really loved it. I dressed up for one of the lessons. They just I didn't have my camera on, and I waited till everybody was in, and then I put my camera on, and I was Willy Wonka. And then every day, so every year, every World Book Day since then, I've gone as the enormous crocodile.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's epic.
I've
That's
still got
so
I've
good.
still got the costume. So
That's
yeah.
brilliant. Faith once wanted to go as an Oompa Loompa. I'll find the picture. It's
Oh,
blooming hilarious. So I'm talking what, she's 21 nearly. She must have been about 5, so a long time ago. Bought
yeah.
some orange face paint, had this mint costume. I think we borrowed it off a cousin. Anyway, she went off, she looked grand, and then we could not get the orange face paint off for days. I'll have
No,
to see if we can put a
no.
picture in somewhere, or maybe I'll share it on social
Yes,
because it is
yes,
top tier effort for a costume. But yeah, we
absolutely.
still talk about it now, about it, the face paint not coming off.
I think we should obviously. I know it's sort of a year, almost a year away, isn't it? Next World Book Day, but our pod we should do a special World Book Day edition
Yes,
where we are dressed in character
100%.
of our favourite book.
Brilliant. I love that. I love Roald Dahl as well, and I've got a similar, like, um, like
A eureka
a
moment with
eureka
him.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when
yeah,
we were kids, so I've got a sister who's 3 years older than me, and we'd used to go on holidays, but there were always ones where you drove. So we'd go. My family had a holiday home down in Wales, so we'd drive, but it was like a 4-hour drive. And basically, obviously, in the 90s, you were just told to shut up, not don't
yeah.
make it.
Or do raindrop
Yes,
races in the car. Yeah.
exactly. Spot a car, whatever, as long as you're quiet. So mum and dad used to put on audiobooks, and they had a cassette, and it had on it George's Marvellous Medicine.
Oh, it's a great one.
And it is
Yeah,
such a good audiobook. The music, I can't even think who reads it, but it sounds, it's so naughty. And I just
yeah.
remember I loved it. And I used to say all the time, can we have it on again? So then dad would have to rewind it.
And it wasn't an easy feat rewinding a cassette, was
No,
it?
so that's the beginning. And I
Because
was
we
just,
showed our age again now, aren't we? Although you're a bit younger than me, aren't you?
yeah.
So that's okay. Do you know with George's Marvellous Medicine, when we were going, obviously when I was reintroducing Neva to Roald Dahl, and she loves Roald Dahl. Fantastic Mr. Fox is
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
favourite. She loves Fantastic Mr. Fox. But the George's Marvellous Medicine one, there's a book where you can do experiments from the book.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, we've also got a Roald Dahl dictionary,
Yes,
with all his made up
I don't know if
words.
we've still got it, but I did when Faith was smaller. Yeah,
Yeah. So we've got those, but if you get the
yeah,
George's
it's a
Marvellous
great
Medicine
idea.
experiments because they are very good. They are very
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, that's a great one. And also, I feel like it's a really important point. I know it's been spoken about a little bit this year about was trying to re-engage young readers, but audiobooks are absolutely brilliant for getting people back
Yeah,
into reading or engaged in the first place. I love an
yeah,
audiobook. I like a podcast anyways. Basically a podcast, isn't it? But
yeah.
Faith always had an audiobook before she went to bed from a young age. My boys don't because they'll use any excuse to be naughty and not go to sleep. But we use podcasts a lot. We use them in the car, and then they've got a few books that they like me to put the YouTube read along whilst they're reading them, and it's just such a good way to, like, if they're not into sitting down and reading, to just still get the imagination going. Anyway, we've completely digressed. At the start of
We
each
have, yeah.
podcast, we do write a few podcast notes of things that we want to cover. None of this has been on the
No,
list.
no,
So,
no.
hello, we're 20 minutes in and we'll just start our list now, shall we?
And don't you remember before we went on, we were like, we're sort of really pressed for time,
Yeah.
so we're gonna make it short.
Just make it a short one. Short but sweet. But there you
So
go.
yeah,
That's
let's
true
begin.
to us, isn't it? So what's been going
Yeah.
on this week?
So we've been like proper deep diving into Cloudberry book submissions, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've thoroughly enjoyed it. And we're only a third of the way through.
Yeah.
We have sent some offers out to ones that we've got so far, haven't we? So,
I
but
don't even think we're a
we've
third
still
of
got
the
a lot.
way through, actually.
No, we're not. We're not. And the illustrators, we really need to crack on with them as
Yeah,
well because there's so many good ones that need going on. So Cloudberry's been our kind of main focus on it for the last few days.
yeah, 100%. And it's taken a lot longer than, I mean, I know it's going to take a long time, but if you imagine every submission, we've got bios, some have got illustrations, we've got um, manuscripts. Some people have sent more than one. So it's taking obviously us to individually assess them and
Yeah,
then to do a combined assessment. And then we're obviously
yeah.
having to do research into what's out there in terms of other books similar. So it's a whole process just to review one. So it's a lot slower than.
And also what we're doing as well, which is a little bit well, not say it's not unique because we don't know what behind the scenes goes on with
Mm,
when other small presses
yeah, maybe
and
for small
hybrid
presses. Yeah.
presses are reviewing. Maybe they've got the time, not the time. Maybe they because they are smaller and they're more bespoke.
Yeah.
They do take a more instead of just saying quickly looking and going nope, nope, nope. But what we've been doing is we've been drafting personal replies because um so if we are interested in your book and we want to take it to the next stage, we will tell you why we love it.
Yeah.
So it isn't just a generic, um, "Oh, we love your book, we'll take it to the next stage." We genuinely have read it. We've looked at all your illustrations if you have them. We've researched you, and we've sort of tried to find out a little bit more about you and how you got to this. How you got to writing a book and things like that. So we feel like we're in the best position to reply
Yeah.
with a
Definitely.
personalised message. Yeah.
And also to the ones that maybe we need a little bit more information on, or to the ones that aren't quite, we're not the right fit for you at the moment. Everything we're doing is, it's not a knee-jerk reaction or a standard
Hmm.
response. Everyone's getting all of our time to make sure that we treat everyone fairly because, as we know, it can be a bit of a bumpy ride, can't it, if you don't get the feedback
Yeah.
that you want. So we want everyone to know that we've really
Really
considered.
looked
Yeah,
into it, yeah,
yeah,
really, really been considered and very yeah, I do feel like it's very personable what we're doing,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And,
Just 'cause
I
it's
do think
brutal and I mean, it
yeah,
doesn't need to
yeah.
be brutal because we have seen, after only being open for 7 days for submissions, how many you get is fast. So it is a
So
good
you can
job.
understand,
Yeah,
yeah, from this side of the table, you can understand why you have a little bit more sympathy, don't you,
yeah,
for
that's it, and
for
we've just
publishers
got
that just
started.
fire
We're
stuff
not like
off.
a big name, so I can totally get
Yeah,
why, but it just like, for us, we wanna keep the person, at the heart of what we're doing for
yeah.
everything really, don't we?
We're invested in you, and I think it might be a good time to maybe explain what Cloudberry
Yeah,
is because there's there's different types of publishers, isn't there?
yeah.
So I think if we sort of clarify what we do, where we are
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
the chain,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, so not knowing any of this myself when I entered the publishing world, and not really having it explained to me either, I don't think, truly.
yeah,
Um, so you've got a few avenues to go when you submit in a book somewhere, or when you're wanting to publish a book, right? So you can self-publish, which is what you did, Leanne, and that means you're
yes.
fully in control of absolutely everything, but you're responsible for the printing, the mock-ups, checking everything's all right, doing your own marketing, worrying about distribution,
It's
all of
hard, and
that.
it's very, very lonely. It's
Yeah.
a very lonely
I
experience.
I
Yeah.
went down the hybrid route, and this is what Cloudberry is, but I'll explain some differences of why we've pitched our business in more of a unique way than other hybrid publishers that we've seen and researched or worked with. So there's traditional publishing, which is the ones that you see, like your Penguin, Random House, those types of ones where they're,
Walker books.
yeah,
Yeah.
Walker Books, where they're a big operation. They've funded a lot of projects, so there's lots of revenue there. And that is a traditional publishing contract where you would generally be given a publishing contract. They will take on all the front loaded fees, so they'll pay for production of your book. In some cases, depending on the person and the size of the contract, sometimes they get an advance, so they get a little bit of a fee advance, which isn't, no matter how big of an author you are, it's not a great amount of money, but some get it. And then they will award you quite a low royalty share. So that means for every book that they sell, you get a certain percentage after the trade have taken their fee off, all the other things have been taken off.
Which makes sense because they're taking on
They're
all the
taking all
risk.
the risk. So you're
Yeah,
talking a
yeah.
very low end, sometimes double digits percentage for royalties. So that's how that works. And it's extremely difficult to secure yourself for traditional publishing.
Only a handful
Yeah. I think I read
make
it's
it
like
through.
3% per year
Yeah,
of books are traditionally published, which is bonkers, isn't it?
yeah,
Might be
yeah.
more than that. I can't agree, but it's in the
It's low, it's
it's
very
on the
low, isn't
it's
it?
low.
Yeah.
So then comes hybrid publishing or partnership publishing, and that is where you have a proper publishing house like ourselves, and they split the risk with you. So what that means is you'll be asked to pay an upfront fee, and I'll explain a little bit about how Cloudberry works in a minute, but generally you pay an upfront fee, and that covers the production and the operational aspects of setting up your book, getting it to print, distributing, storage of the book,
Because it
marketing.
does cost to do all
Yeah, it
this.
does.
Yeah.
Marketing, cover design, all these things.
Mhm.
That covers that. And what the reward of that approach is that you get a much, much, much higher royalty reward. So
Mm.
I'll give you a ballpark of my own because I'm not precious. So mine, I am the author and illustrator of my book. It's hybrid published, and I get between 60 and 70% royalties, which is really, really good of the books that
Yeah,
are sold. When you're
really good.
talking like 7 to 12% for a traditional publisher. So it's really, really good if you look at it like that. But
Yeah.
you have to make an outlay upfront. And what we've decided at Cloudberry is after Leanne and I had looked, because what we're trying to do is we want to be the fairest
Of them all.
of them all in the land, not just aesthetically.
I feel it's a tagline there now. Got my brain's going.
But we want the fairest because basically we care a lot about what we do. We found it difficult ourselves, and we want to make an accessible and fair and reasonable process for people. So when we've assessed what happens out there, we've picked the most affordable price point that we can do it for. So we've not been greedy. We're not going to spin a big profit. We've gone for a figure that covers these components and allows us to operate as a company
And with the
and with
quality, quality end product.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
So we're using UK-based printing for those based in the UK. It's high quality, it's reliable, and it's sustainable. So that's number one. And then what we've looked at is, when I signed up for mine, I was given a contract. I pay half up front and half later on. So we've also thought about how we can make that affordably
well,
accessible.
that was a really big outlay for you, wasn't
Huge,
it?
huge. I was
Yeah, really
lucky
big outlay.
because um that's a horrible way to say this, because I wasn't lucky because my granddad died, but
Oh,
he left me some money,
oh,
is what I mean. But
oh,
he's my book is he's my tribute in my book. I'll tell
that
you
is
about him in a minute actually, because
lovely. Oh,
this is a
that's
really,
so
really great
nice.
story. But I was in a position where I'd been left some money and I was able to fund that project. I wouldn't have been able to do that at all
Yeah, because
otherwise.
it was
A
a big
huge
chunk of
outlay.
money, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I paid that in 2 installments. What we've decided to do at Cloudberry is go, right, where do we need the money in that journey basically to operate? So what we've,
If we were coming to a publisher, what would appeal to us
yes,
that's fair?
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
exactly. So our contracts are 40% upon the point of signing the contract within 7 days. In some scenarios where people might contact us, we might be able to work on an arrangement that be a little bit more flexible.
Mm.
30% upon roughs being approved, and then the final 30% on before we send it to print.
Just before it goes to print,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. And that covers that. And that's as fair and reasonable as we can do it. And we've also tailored our packages so that they can include as much as possible for that money. So
We're throwing a lot of extras in there.
throwing in loads of extras, but the main thing that we felt was missing in the industry was, regardless of what type of contract you go for, whether it's traditional or hybrid or self, you're doing it yourself
Self.
anyway, is the ongoing promotion and support. So what Cloudberry will offer is some really decent marketing, some tools for you to be able to market yourself, because that's like you just get dropped in the ocean and you've got to learn how to do that. But then also we will do continuous marketing for 12 months after the publication date,
Yeah.
which is pretty much
Vi
unheard of.
via ICAN
And
and
Cloudberry.
Cloudberry, because obviously a membership is included in the packages
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's and that'll be done. There'll be a number of different what do you want to call it, vessels for us to
Yeah.
do that promotion, which you'll start to see over the coming weeks. But yeah, that's basically where we've landed with Carberry, and we're really really proud of it because we feel like it is we can stand behind it. Basically, we feel really passionately
It's
about it.
really exciting. It's something that I mean, as obviously I self-published. If this was offered to me, I would jump at the chance to do this, because it just means that when you're the middle ground as a hybrid publisher, from a self-publishing a person's point of view that's had to learn all this stuff, all the technical stuff that is just taken care of, and then you can concentrate on getting your book
Yeah,
to the best it possibly could be, and just getting really excited about having a book published and leaving all the responsibility of getting it there
yeah,
to someone else, which is I mean, when I was going down the self-publishing route, it was like 125 tabs open in my brain. I had so much to do, and just sort of I was just learning as I went as
yeah.
well, which obviously you'll have support from us as well, which makes all the difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've struck up some brilliant relationships in the industry as well, which will help us, just get that process really smooth. We've
Yeah.
got people to consult on for various stages of the journey. I feel like I now need to acknowledge my grandpa because I was like, yeah, he's
Aw.
dead, and I used his name. Uh, but he was an absolute legend. So the reason why I ended up dedicating it to him wasn't just because of the money. So he was 102 when he died. Died 2 years ago. 2 years ago
Wow.
next
Good
week, actually.
genes.
I know,
Good genes.
102. And it was in a competition with his sister who was since deceased because she died when she was 106. He was like, I'm going to outlive Annie, right? I definitely won't die before her. And he did. He died when he was 102. But he was the naughtiest. So he was about this big. And he was a really, really naughty, naughty, naughty man.
Oh,
He'd always get up to mischief. He'd be up a ladder on the roof or, doing things that he shouldn't be doing.
he sounds very Roald
They were
Dahl-y, doesn't
brilliant.
he?
And the best thing was because I spent so much time with him close to the end because I was either on maternity leave or pregnant with Perry. And prior to that, I would like go in and see him at lunchtime because I worked close to where he lived and da, 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 da. I was an only local grandchild. So we got quite close. And he used to tell me stories. Bear in mind, he's got three children. So my dad, my uncle, and my auntie. He'd once told me a story, they'd never heard it, and we howled. So I've got a little dog and he's a Yorkshire Terrier crossed with a Chihuahua and my grandpa loved him. And he's like, I love dogs, I love dogs. I could have had a dog when my parents had a Pomeranian before I was born. So this is like 1923 he was born. They had a Pomeranian called Jack. I was like, that's his name. He's like, yeah, they decided it might be too vicious, so they got rid of the dog and named me after it. But to think that is like I have never heard this story in my life, and he just used to come out with all these tales. It was honestly the
Oh,
most interesting man. World
what
War
a
II
legend.
navigator. I wrote a poem about him actually that I read it. Well, my sister read it at his funeral because I was too embarrassed. Which I'll share because yeah. But anyway, that's like the story. So he knew that I was
Oh.
writing the book, but I'd not had an offer from a publisher. He died before, like literally just as I got the offer.
Oh,
Um,
no. I bet he always had believed in you and
Oh
always had
yeah, and
faith in you that you would
he
do
wrote
it.
a diary every day of his life from being 12. There was diaries up until he was about 100. He stopped being able to write, which my dad's got, and he's going to try and put into some sort of
I was
memoir.
gonna say, I feel like we could publish that.
I know, honestly, we really could. Such an interesting man. So there we go. My book's dedicated to him.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
That is such a lovely story.
yeah. Honestly, it's such a funny man. Always getting up to mischief. So there we go. Right. So looking down my list of other things we want to talk about then. Oh yes, this week marks the end of the Rebel reading school visits workshops.
Yeah, yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't
That
it?
was
Absolutely
epic.
brilliant. Yeah,
Absolutely right. So, firstly, thank you to James because we stumbled upon each other in a crowded place of social media. We struck up a really great relationship, which we're really grateful for. Um,
yeah,
it's hugely beneficial to our members. It's not the end of it. We've done the first workshop and we've got plans to do other things. But thank you for his kindness and helping us
yeah.
put on that provision.
Yeah, and we did tell him that he's not gonna be able to get rid of us now,
Oh no,
so
no, no, no!
he's
It's
gonna have to
different
just
now. We'll be
embrace
stalking him
it. But
forever.
yeah, they do have a festival coming up,
The
don't
other
they, as
day,
well?
yeah.
Is
So
it October? Was it October?
I think it's
Was it
in
October?
October. It's in Poole in Dorset. Sounds fab. Really,
It
really
does.
fab. Maybe we can link some information here if we get a bit of a blurb from James.
Or rather than get a blurb from him, I mean, he did say we've got it recorded on
Yeah,
the Rebel that he would come
he
on
did.
as a podcast guest.
They'll come on,
So
but the problem is
yeah.
it'll be a feature length film because we won't be able to stop talking.
Maybe we should do it as like a bonus, a bonus episode.
And they'll be like,
He's just as bad as us,
no,
isn't he,
yes,
for the chat?
he
He
is.
likes the chat, doesn't he?
So there we go. So thank you to everybody who signed up and attended the course. We made it available to our members, but also to non-members. It's still available for people to purchase and watch as replays if people want to. So send us a DM or head to our website if you want to know more about that. We will put on other things with James in the future. But I think, and on that, if you did attend and complete the course, you've got a little certificate coming your way.
Yes, we've got a little certificate,
A
like,
certificate of
and
achievement.
yes, yeah, because we love a good
We
certificate, don't
do.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch out.
And also as well, I just want to sort of acknowledge that how engaging everybody was that
Yeah.
attended as well, and especially with the second module, which was making Instagram work for you. You can see who's attended the course,
Yeah.
can't you? Just by their social media.
Bonkers.
And all of them are doing absolutely amazing with it out
Yeah.
there and getting themselves out there in a really positive way. It's just their social medias are really good
Yeah.
at the minute.
I also
They're really
found
good.
so much, not just that one, the last one that we had the week before last, so beneficial, like really, really practical tools to help you. And like you said,
Yeah,
everyone was really, getting themselves thrown into it and is using those tools now. So that's epic.
yeah, and we've kept the so we've got like Instagram DM group which we're keeping on. So we going forward, there's the support there as
Yeah,
well.
for people that
Yeah.
were on the course. So yeah, if you do want to book onto it, we can send you the replays and you can join that social
Mm,
group as well, just to bounce ideas off each other and support. It's brilliant. It'd be
really
really
good.
good to hear from people what kind of things they would like us to put on in the future because we're looking at, obviously, we've got the Litfest coming up in July, so that's our imminent focus. But then it'd be great to hear what things you think you would like help with in the future so we can
Uh,
source some resources on those things as well.
yeah, yeah, because obviously James is the school visits expert. He's also just he's expert at a lot of things, isn't he? School visits
Yeah,
is his jam. So yeah, so if there's anything else you'd like us to cover, just
yeah,
yeah,
just
let
let
us
us
know
know.
and we'll try and source it. Yeah.
100%. Brilliant.
Mm.
Litfest. We've not really got a great deal of update on Litfest. We're going to focus our next chit chat, which is the members and suppliers and reviewers, anyone who wants to come um, that's part of the ICAN community chit chat, which is like a Teams meeting where we inform you. That will be a Litfest heavy one because we'll be giving some more detail in that.
Yeah.
But all I can say really is thank you to the people who contributed the illustrations and logos because they look phenomenal,
Yes, yeah,
don't
they
they?
do. They look brilliant. Yeah, we're going to do lots of fun things with those.
Really, really
Yeah.
proud of that. We read a bit locally, so I live in the area where the event's going to be held, and I've had a few people tap me up and ask me about it. I'm part of my youngest is starting school in September, and I've somehow got myself in a PTA WhatsApp group.
Oh, that's gold.
So that's
That's gold.
gold. There's about 80 mums ready to go there. So yeah, it's going to be brilliant.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Going to be
Yeah,
great.
really good.
Should we talk about our ideas for the trade magazine?
Yeah, that was something that you came up with, wasn't it, the other day? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
go on. Yeah, go for it.
So we're very early in this idea because it was brought to you by my ADHD basically, and it's not fully formed. It's not fully formed as an idea yet. But Leanne's validated that it's a good idea, so we'll go in with it. So the thought is, what's the gap for indie creators in terms of the publishing world? And that gap is underrepresentation. Right, so we've got this community, we're doing as much as we can on our socials, but how do we escalate that to the next level in terms
How
of...
do we put it all together?
Yeah.
Mm.
So what we're gonna do, probably quite promptly, because we'd like to have it for the Litfest, is pull together a ICAN member trade magazine. So
Yeah,
I think,
we haven't settled on the name yet,
yeah,
have we?
I don't know
But
what it'll be
that's
called
the
yet.
idea.
It'll feature
Mm.
each member and their work, where to find them. If they're on Gardeners, a link to the Gardeners, like the code, whatever that is.
Link
Um,
to the websites.
yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
what curriculum milestones the book meets, who it will be suitable for, and basically the intention will be we will distribute that to bookshops, possibly other people, and try and secure some ICAN space on the shelves, basically.
yeah.
So it'll be sent to them and followed up by us saying, this is who we are on the network and what we're trying to achieve, which is to have possibly an ICAN specific dedicated area, and these are the books to choose from.
Mm.
So we'll share some more information on that once we've got there with it.
So if you like the sound of the idea and you think, oh well, I'll tell you what would work for that, then hit
Yeah.
us up.
Yeah, definitely hit us up. Please do. Super.
Mm.
Okay, well, we're doing this backwards this week because normally I've already had a conversation with somebody and then we pin it in here and I say, I've had a lovely conversation with this person, blah, 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 blah.
So we normally record on a Thursday morning. No, Thursday after you've
Yeah,
spoken, right after you've spoken to
yeah.
the interviewee. But the interviewee that we're having is not well later, is it?
No, that's
Today.
that's tonight. So speaking to the interviewee, this is a member. This is our first
Yeah.
member. So really, we stumbled across this by total accident as well, by the way. So reminder, use the ICAN Pulse calendar if you've got anything like a book launch, exhibition, if you're an illustrator, anything going on that you want us to promote, use the calendar in the members area so we can keep an eye on it. Talia had posted about her book coming out, so I caught it. Um,
We did. We caught
yeah,
it,
we were
didn't
like,
we?
hey, we didn't know about this. Would you like to come on the podcast? And she has very kindly said, yes, I'd love to come on the podcast. So I'm speaking with Talia about her book, Asha's Den, which is out now. I think she has had a couple of production issues with it. So it got paused,
Yeah.
and I think it is now out. If it's not out now, it's imminent, and it will probably be out
Yes.
by the time the podcast is released. So Talia is
Mm.
just going to fill us in a little bit about that book, and it'll be a nice little launch episode, I
Brilliant.
suppose, for that.
It's, and obviously we got to know Talia a little bit when she did the I Can
Yeah,
Ask Spotlight.
yeah,
So maybe we'll link to that as well, so we
brilliant.
can
That's a
we
great
can link that.
idea. And I do still have
Mm.
2 of those I Can Asks to get published as well, by the way. So they'll be coming
Yeah,
your way
yeah.
very soon.
It's on our urgent
It is on our
list.
urgent list.
We've got 2 lists, haven't we? We've got a list and we've got an urgent list that we
Yes.
need to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's on there. So they'll be coming your way soon, along with the new members post, because we're behind on that too.
Yeah, we're really behind
We
on that. Yeah.
we've got new members to shout about, so that's coming your way
That'd be
very soon. So yeah, that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to speaking to Talia about books and just a little bit about her and how she's arrived at where she has. Okay, so we'll pop the conversation. This feels like a bit of a Back to the Future moment because I've not had the conversation, but here it is. Speaking with Talia about her book, Asha's Den. So I hope you enjoy, and I'm sure I will too. Hello, hi Talia.
Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I am brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on. So this week, what we're doing within the podcast, we're slotting in this interview between you and I. We spied on Instagram that you've actually sneakily published another book in this last few weeks.
Yes.
So
Yes. Last week.
I was desperate. As soon as I saw it, I reached out to you, didn't I? And I was like, you need to come on the podcast. You can tell me all about it.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. This is really exciting.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we'll start off by saying this is Asha's Den. Have you got a copy there with you?
I do. This is the
Oh,
beautiful
brilliant.
Asha.
Gorgeous. So do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. So Asha's Den has been written by myself and two other, so I'm a drama therapist, two other drama therapists called Briney and Justine, who run a charity called Rowan Tree Drama Therapy. And what Rowan Tree Drama Therapy does is they work with young people in the care system, so young people who are care experienced. And I reached out to them to see if they wanted to write a children's book on the experience of being care experienced. And so we've created Asha's Den, which has been beautifully illustrated by Alice Waters, who also is a drama therapist working at Rowan Tree Drama Therapy, and also is a magnificent artist.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
she's obviously multi-talented.
Beautiful. And this is book number what in your series?
12.
That's amazing. That is no mean feat.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So all therapeutic stories. The idea is to help facilitate conversations that adults can sometimes, they're not all tricky topics, but they can be topics where I'm not quite sure how to start it. So if you use the story as the springboard into the conversation, there's also helpful questions at the back of each book. And also, so this one here, the questions, and this one even has a little page where you can do some drawings. And there's also some ideas on how to start conversations and that. So it's hopefully a little bit more than just your regular story, which is still valuable and therapeutic.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's lovely. So where and how did you go about getting the ideas up and running for your books and getting them published? Do you do them under your own? Do you self-publish them?
So what happened was during COVID, there were a lot of I work in schools and CAMs, and a lot of schools were asking me about how do we talk to kids about COVID? So I started writing some therapeutic stories, and a friend of mine's daughter illustrated them, and we released them then as PDFs.
Yeah.
And then a colleague of mine said to me at the end, we need one on loss, because there'd been obviously so many losses. And I wondered about how to self-publish. And I decided to do like a bit of a test pilot. So I wrote a book called Silo's Sadness, which is about Silo, the lion cub, losing his grandfather to the pesky illness on the savannah. And I used the images that Erin had created in the original stories. I used those images to kind of fit the book. And it was met with huge kind of, I don't know what the word is, like appreciation, I suppose. And lots of people were like, oh my goodness, you need more of these books. And then two colleagues from the neurodevelopmental team in CAMS where I work said, would we do one on autism together for the neurodevelopmental team? So we did. And Tallulah's Rules was born. And then, it kind of just snowballed from there.
That's amazing.
And yeah, we're all therapists. All of us who write or co-write the books, we're all therapists.
And how does that co-writing relationship work then? Do you come with an idea to your co-writers and you all sort of pitch in expertise, or?
I think every writing process has been quite different. With Asha's Den, I had already thought about writing a book on care experience, but I know I'm not an expert. I know that I've worked with people and I supervise people who do work with this client group, but I'm by no means an expert in it. So I was talking to someone who suggested Rowan Tree would be a really good charity to discuss this with, and I knew of the charity, so I contacted them, and they were really happy to collaborate. And so it worked that we meet on Zoom. We used to meet on Zoom, and we would talk about the topic. We would hash it out. We'd think about it. We then started writing the story together. And then Briney met with a care experienced young person and went through the story with him and got his views, and then fed back to us. And then we adapted and changed and added, and yeah. So that was just incredible to have a real voice in there.
Yeah.
You know, we're all
Yeah.
pulling from using various voices from our experience, but then to have someone actually who is care experienced give their thoughts was,
Brilliant.
you know, amazing.
Oh, how lovely. And what are your plans in terms of the launch? What do you typically do when you have a book that comes out?
So this is the third one that we're having an online book launch for. So we have on Wednesday, the 17th of June, at 6:30 p.m. in the evening, we've got an online book launch.
Brilliant.
And what we'll do is we'll introduce the book. We'll talk a little bit about Savannah Therapeutic Stories and Rowan Tree Drama Therapy. We are going to have Alice talk about illustrating and her process. And we're going to then do a little bit of a reading and then answer any questions. And the
Oh,
book
lovely
will be
idea.
discounted. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you know what? I've not actually ever considered doing that. That's such a great idea. I bet you get a really good response to that kind of launch.
We get more people because people are joining from all around. You know, we've
Yeah.
got people joining. We've had people from overseas join. We've had people from different parts of the country join. We did do one live book launch, which was amazing. And we had a really good response to it for one of the other books. But they cost money. They're
Yeah.
quite
Well,
expensive
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
You
Totally.
want to treat people with some nice food and some bubbles, whereas a book launch, unfortunately, we can't treat you with nice food and bubbles, but it feels more accessible because
Yeah,
people can
completely.
kind of just, you know, dip in and dip out of joining. And we're hoping that 6:30 is kind of like a good enough time,
Yeah.
you know, for people to get back from work and to join.
Brilliant. This podcast will go out before your launch, so we'll link details for people that might want to attend that launch in the description of this podcast so that people
Fantastic.
can come along if they want to. And then just lastly then, if people want to purchase the book, where's the best place for them to buy it?
So they can go onto Amazon. If you search up Asha's Den Savannah Therapeutic Stories, you should be able to find it, or Savannah Therapeutic Stories. Then you'll kind of get a list of all of our books. And it's not yet on psychology books because that my author copies haven't arrived yet, but it will be there as well. But Amazon is always the safest
Yeah,
bet.
brilliant. Talya, it's been really lovely speaking to you. Thank you for spending some time to talk us through your book, and we wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate all you do for all of us indie authors.
Oh, thank you. That's great. Thank you.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay. So yeah, we'll link in Talya's details here so you can easily find her if you enjoyed the interview and learn a little bit more about her and her books and what she's up to. Thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Yeah,
And
thank you, Talya.
yeah, and then it's probably worth just going back around in terms of the conversation I had with Sian last week. Feels like ages ago, but it was last week.
It does. I mean, do you know what? I was watching the interview. I've watched it a few times actually because there's so many golden nuggets in there
Yeah,
that she and yeah, yeah, it did. It did. It didn't feel like 90
no,
minutes. I mean, I know we had to chop
not
chop
out.
some down. But yeah, I think maybe we should have her on again in the
I'd love
future
to,
and
yeah, I'd love
yeah,
to.
yeah.
So if you've not listened to it, please do because it's not just geared towards illustrators, although we're speaking about illustration and there's some really, really useful tips for illustrators in there. Sian talks about mindset. She talks about how she approaches the business side of her work. It's
How
an
she got to be how she got an
agent,
agent.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
dead interesting.
Mhm.
So, and also a little bit
And
about like the
I was
British
just going to
culture.
say, yeah, just her journey
Yeah,
as well, like at the time she spent in
yeah,
Japan and how that influenced her. And she's just fascinating, absolutely fascinating story. Yeah, yeah. But it's nice for her to be on the other side because she's pulling out these gems from all her guests, and yet she's the one sat there with a really good story
yeah,
to tell as well.
exactly.
So it was nice to get
It
her
really was.
story out there as well.
It really
Yeah.
was. Go and have a look as well if you haven't looked at the Stitch book that she illustrated that
Oh,
published
oh,
is so beautiful. And the Winnie the Pooh, which I love, but I hadn't seen the
yeah.
Stitch ones prior to speaking to her. So then when she was talking about it, how to make Stitch in her style, I went and had a look afterwards and it was so lovely.
Yeah.
It really is.
I loved that. I don't know if it was I think one of our members did comment, underneath that. I think it could have been Paul saying that the way she approached an illustration by doing thumbnails, I think he does the same thing.
Yeah,
So I think if you are an aspiring author, illustrator, or an illustrator for a children's book, her process is very, very good.
I found it
So
personally really useful because I don't do that because I'm like a knee-jerk person. Like my brain just works, "No,
no,
don't even hear this." But I'm like a right now, right, this is what I'm doing it now. Bang.
but your brain is amazing. Your brain is
But I
amazing.
think
Keep
it would
saying,
help me to because then I'll spend hours because I've done a really detailed drawing and then I've decided it's not how I want it to look, so I'm starting again. Whereas if I
yeah.
really cemented my thumbnails like Sian's doing, so that's what I'm gonna do. And that sounds really basic, but you only know what you know, don't you?
Well, I'm glad she said that because obviously I'm really behind with my book that's supposed to be coming out in August.
Same.
So yeah, but I know once I allocate the times to do it, I'm on it. I'm on it with it. But the idea of thumbnails has been really
Yeah,
useful to me actually. Yeah,
definitely.
so I'm going to implement some of the things that she said. Mm.
Definitely, yeah. And that was one of my points actually that I wanted us to talk about today was just like about our own journeys because I wouldn't say we've necessarily put the breakers on them, but we've had to put our resources into this and Cloudberry, and it has meant that we've slowed down a bit on some of our stuff.
Yeah.
I was really, really active on my social media, and then it took a back seat because I manage the other social medias, and I'm trying to fit in mine a little bit, so you might see a bit more of my face on
Oh
there
yeah,
now.
my social media is like, I mean, the only social media it gets at the minute is if anything, any collaborations that are done, which
Yeah,
is good because it keeps. But
'cause
I do need to be more on it with my
yeah,
social
yeah,
media as well.
we're
Yeah.
both struggling to fit things in, but we're trying. Like I've done a couple of turkey dinosaur rants and whatnot over the last week.
Oh, that was. Do you know that came up? That came up on my feed that day,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I
the
was like,
advert?
first of all, I thought so many peas.
Yeah.
There's just peas everywhere, and I thought this has got to be AI. And then I saw your post, and it was like, what in the AI turkey dinosaurs is going on here?
But
It
what is
really
going
made me
on
laugh.
now? Who
And
thinks that's all right?
your point was so valid because when you said someone had to sign that
Yeah.
off,
I've
someone's
worked
had to
in a
sign that
compliance role
off.
within marketing. I know exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Who's allowed that?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just it's fast and it's lazy.
It's so lazy.
Fast and lazy, or they're doing it for clickbait, so they do get they do get the attention, they do get the numbers, and
Possible.
then they can say, "Oh well, this is why we did it." But it's just a sea of cack at the minute,
I
isn't it?
think it's tone deaf.
On
That's their
social
approach. I
media.
really do. I think that's rubbish. I'm watching my tongue there.
Yeah.
Like, if it's intentional to use as, what do you call it? What's it called when people rage baiting? That's it.
Rage bait, that's it. Rage
If
bait.
it is that,
Yeah,
that's even more annoying. But I just find let's take it on face value. It's sloppy, it's lazy, and it's offensive
sloppy's a good
to the
word. Sloppy's
creative
a
industry.
Sloppy slop.
Sloppy
That's
stuff.
what AI is.
Yeah,
Sloppy slop. And it just, as well, I think we said it on the first podcast about AI images being soulless.
yeah,
I mean, this is probably a time to bring Kirsten in because
yeah, yeah.
she is really sort of angry about
Great idea. Yeah,
AI. I just feel like you looked at that image with the family. And there's something in your brain that goes, something's not right here. I
yeah,
don't feel connected with that. And then the more, like you said, the more you looked at it, the worse it got. So the boy had 6 fingers, the dad had a transparent
yeah.
thumb, the girl was putting a hand in molten
Gravy.
fava
Was
gravy.
looking
It
like one of
just
those
was all
smiles,
wrong.
like, you know,
Yes. And then the peas,
the
so many
pig.
peas. I had like a pea nightmare that
And then I
night.
didn't know. Do you know what? My husband has an actual real life phobia of peas, which sounds ridiculous,
Really?
but we can't have a pea about the house. And do you know
Oh,
what it comes from? Which is completely valid. Do you know when you used to do sports in your dinner hall at school, and like
yes.
after dinner, and there'd be like peas on the floor? It comes from
Yeah.
stepping in a pea on his, like having a pea squished on his foot.
Oh, so the squishiness
Yeah.
of it.
So I'm not
Yeah.
like
Oh, wow.
genuinely, as a 40-something-year-old man, won't go near a pea.
I wonder if there's a name for a phobia of
There must
peas. I
be.
bet there is.
You should
Yeah.
see.
So You didn't show him that, did you? Because that would have
I
been,
did
that would
show
have
him it.
just,
Yeah, I did
oh,
show him. And he was like, "Ooh."
yeah, put it away. We don't need to see
Well, I
that.
did show
There's
him
too
it. He
many
was sat
themes.
right next to me whilst I was recording, and he just kept looking at me going, "What are you doing?" He was watching Kill Tony or something. Try and watch this. But there we go.
Show me these.
Yeah.
Flashbacks to school.
But you
Stop
should
showing me
say every year for his birthday, you can guarantee he's getting a happy birthday card off multiple people.
Brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant. Love that.
Very cool. But yeah, let's link in Kirsten and Emma's podcast here. Do you
Yes,
want to do a little
yes.
bit of an explanation about it?
Yeah, so I think we mentioned them before, Emma Rosen and Kirsten McNeil. Kirsten McNeil's a member of ICAN now, which is absolutely
Yeah, we're
great.
so proud of her.
She's just, yeah, she's a wonderful human being, isn't she? And what she's having a really good run, isn't she, at the
Yes,
minute?
yes,
Because
she
obviously she's been shortlisted for a lot of awards for her son's book, Pirate Penguin. And they've just been shortlisted for the is it the Week Junior
Yes. Yeah.
Award, the Week Junior Award? So we'll link in where to vote as well for that as well, because they are shortlisted. But just before she got the good news about the Week Junior Award for her son, she'd put she'd put him in for an award. I can't remember, was it Ink something? I can't remember what it's
What it
called.
was.
Yeah, and one of the awards, she was concerned that the person that was alongside her shortlisted for this award was using AI. So she went to the award people and told them about it, and they gave a very lukewarm response. It wasn't very supportive at that time. So she made the decision to go on social media and say that, unfortunately, we're going to pull ourselves out of this award now. You know, this is my son's book. We've explained it to him. He understands, but it's sad that we've had to do that. And she went on this, I think it was on the stories. It might have been on the stories. And the support she got was brilliant.
That's such
Yeah,
a
it was
brave
so
stance for
good.
somebody who's from an indie background as well, because
Yeah,
it's difficult to get yourself into these awards and shortlisted anyway as an independent
yeah,
person. So kudos
yeah.
for even doing that. But for them to be so backed by her own morals and do that, make that choice is really, really impressive.
At a detriment
Yeah,
to winning an
yeah,
award that was rightly deserved, because very talented 10-year-old has wrote this book. The illustrator that she used, absolutely beautiful illustrations, very, very talented illustrator.
yeah,
And she's had to make that decision
yeah,
to withdraw from that when she's not done anything wrong. They've not done anything wrong. So anyway, I think I'm not sure what the actual outcome was. I'll have to have
yeah.
a look. But I know she got incredible support. And then obviously on the back of that, she got the good news that they were shortlisted for the Week Junior, and she's just on a major high
Yeah,
from that. So,
brilliantly.
but if we wanted to talk to anybody about stances on AI, Kirsten would be the one,
Yeah,
because she does
definitely.
have a podcast with Emma Rosen. Emma Rosen's work is
Yeah,
lovely.
she's beautiful.
Yeah, and again, between them, they are an incredible source of knowledge on indie publishing.
Yeah.
And they've got a podcast called Spines and Headlines, which I've mentioned before. And I took a picture. I was going to send it to Kirsten, but it was like 12:30 at night. I'd just say, guess what I'm doing? I was going to say, look what I'm watching. And then I realised the time. And then I realised it had like a cup of tea in it and like an eaten vanilla slice. And I
Oh,
thought,
yeah,
this is
that's
just,
an
I
exercise.
can't send this.
Oh, wow.
I thought, I'll send it in the morning, and then I completely forgot. But the last two episodes of Spines and Headlines, I will link them here. The one of them, the earlier one, talks about the whole AI saga that she's gone through, and then the next one's more positive about the Week Junior and her boy Hunter, and the illustrator, Nikki, I think she's called
Thanks
Nikki.
for
And so Hunter and Nikki's like experience with being shortlisted for the Week Junior. So it's been a really, really exciting week for her.
I'm gonna
So,
just put
but we
the cover
do,
up now to show people.
yeah, Pirate Penguin. It's
Pirate
brilliant.
Penguin.
Also, as well, she did on her Instagram the story of how Pirate Penguin came out.
Oh,
You
I
know
know
what Hunter did.
Yeah,
Yeah. So so that's interesting how
yeah.
that story came to be.
There you go,
Look at
guys.
that.
Yeah.
So what's the illustrator? Nikki
Martin.
Nikki Martin. That's it,
Oh,
Nikki
it's gone off
Martin.
there. There we go. Yeah, that's lush. So
Isn't that lovely?
yeah, so we'll link all the various people and things that we've spoken about below
Yeah.
for you to explore a
So
bit more.
so good luck to Hunter and
Yeah.
to Nikki and Kirsten as the publisher, and I hope that they win because I voted, and
everyone
getting
else can
everybody
vote as well if they want to. Very much would like to. Brilliant. And there is the end of the list. And if we weren't inserting an interview, we'd have done an hour, which is pretty good. But we are
It's pretty
inserting
good
an
for us.
interview.
Yeah. So without the interview, we're under it. We're just over an hour, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we've tried. I just think we should just resign ourselves to the fact that we're just too
We
talkative
just
to
classed it
be
up.
under an hour.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I
It
mean, just
really is, isn't it?
accept the limitations, Hannah.
I know. But as we've said, if anybody wants to come on the podcast, has any questions for the podcast, any feedback, we got some feedback about feedback because I was getting a lot
We
of my
did.
feedback. I'm
We
trying out
did.
this guy. Where is it? Hello. So we'll see if this has worked.
A fluffy mic.
I don't know if it will have done. If not, we're going to go to hardwired headset, but that's my last choice because I hate having something in my ears. It makes me feel like I'm not in the room. It's weird. I mean, it's a virtual room anyway, but you get what I mean. It makes me feel extra loud and out of control.
But if it's affecting feedback, this is the sacrifice that poor Hannah will have to
I will make that sacrifice
for you guys. But yeah, I think it wasn't. So we can't hear any feedback now.
No.
But when somehow between the program that we use and then uploading it to YouTube, it just seems to affect your side. Although I don't have, because I'm on the iPad today, so I don't have mine in. So maybe because we both don't have, that would be. I might just have to use the iPad from now on to record me.
Let's see how we go. But yeah, thank you. If you made it this far, thank you very much for listening.
I think we should give people a certificate to people who make it this far.
Made it through the ICAN marathon. Podcast marathon.
On your 10th one, you get a free something.
We're going to get like a free hearing test or something.
Yeah.
Fine. I love that we don't even excuse our northernisms now anymore either. Like, I wonder if people are now in tune with the way that we speak.
I think that. I think they're longing
test the other week, right? And the guy said to me, "Oh, where are you from, by the way?" And I was thinking he just meant, "What's my address?" And I was like, "Here." And he was like, "No, where are you originally from?" And I was like, "Oh, Bradford." And he went, "Oh, is your husband from Liverpool?" And I was like, "No." Why? Thinking, does he know me or Adam? It's like, no, fine. It's like, you just have a bit of a Liverpudlian twang to your accent.
Do you know, I've never noticed that. It's one of my very good friends from Liverpool, so I think I would have.
I don't even know a single Liverpudlian, so I don't know where they would get that from, but yeah. And I was like, no, I'm from Bradford.
I've had before being a mum, a stay-at-home mum, home educator, before kids, I was a legal secretary for.
You mean you
years.
You had your own thing going on?
I had a life.
God,
I had a life. I'd much rather be doing this.
So would I. So would I.
And I remember being on the phone to somebody and they're saying, "No, are you based in Manchester?" I was like, "No, we're Leeds. We're in the centre of Leeds." And he's like, "You sound like you're from Manchester. I've never had that before." It was the one and only time that someone said I sounded like I was from Manchester, because I feel like I've got a strong Yorkshire accent.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
But yeah, I've had that before, but never Liverpool.
I see. I find the Mancunian accent very different. My brother-in-law's from Manchester. My sister lives in Manchester. So my niece and nephew grew up in Manchester, and their accent is mad when I hear them speak.
Yeah, it is. And I wonder if you're from the further down south you're from, the northern accent. To us, it's different because obviously we can differentiate the sounds between Yorkshire and Lancashire. But maybe if you're down south, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not. Maybe we just all blend into one. Like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, we are really pleased that you stick around, and there are subtitle options, although I don't know how good it is translate.
But then on the subtitles, me saying your name, it always puts Leon.
Leon, yeah, and do you know what else it puts as well? Cloudberry. It's Cloudberry.
Wait, do you know what the next skills lab should be? An elocution lesson.
Yes, yeah. Although I am surprised it picks up on our, like, drop, when we drop we drop the vowels,
Yeah.
don't we, here? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm surprised it does pick that up. It must know us by now. I
Yeah.
think it does know by now, 'cause I've very rarely had to change any,
So I
any
think
words
what
like
it
that.
was when I met my husband, so he's from York. He's a bit more posh than me.
They're a bit more
They're a
posher up
bit more
there, aren't they?
posh.
Yeah.
And it drove him mad, but now he says it himself because he's been living with me for a long time, that I used to say us. So I'd be like, "Oh, I can't think of a scenario when you say us, but, like, give us that thing.
Give
Pass
us
us
that
that."
thing.
And
Yeah,
he'd be like,
yeah.
Why did you say us past me?" I'm like, "It's just what you
You
said.
have to say me. You
Yeah,
have to say past
me.
me.
Excuse me, pass me this thing." I'm like, "No, you say pass us it. Pass us that." Whatever. Bottom line.
Passes, yeah. And dunno's another one,
Dunno,
isn't
yeah.
it? I
Yeah,
dunno, yeah.
dunno. So there we go. Um,
Yeah.
thank you,
We're
everybody.
trying. We're
We're
trying to we're
trying.
trying to sound eligible, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're doing our best. Telephone voices. But there's only so long you can do it before you exhaust it.
Yeah. Gotta
Brill,
be true to ourselves. True to
isn't
ourselves.
it? Isn't it?
Yes.
Right, brilliant. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Leanne, for a lovely, lovely conversation. I always enjoy it
Yes,
far much than I probably
I
should.
do too. And I think we're meeting up in person soon, aren't
Yeah, we
we?
are next week.
The next week.
Mm.
We're meeting up in person, but we will be virtually meeting up, won't we, to go through some
Pretty much
more
every
book
day.
submissions,
There's not a day when we
illustrator submissions.
There's not a day when we don't speak, and Pollyann wakes up because I get up at the crack of dawn.
Oh, your messages were great. Could you know what? I will say, Lenny sleeping
I
through.
know.
I am missing my little Hannah
He's
messages when I
actually
wake up.
truly sleeping through though. That's sad because he's coming into my bed and kicking the out of me. But I'm trying my best not to activate my brain too much. So I'm pretending to
Yes,
myself that I'm asleep. But last night I couldn't because I had all sorts of ICAN and Cloudberry things just kicking off in there. So I had to message you.
yes. Yeah, well, I woke up to so we've got 3 separate WhatsApp groups. We've got ICAN, Cloudberry, and
Yeah.
Litfest. And it was like ding 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 ding.
I was like, oh, there's
Which is
another
great.
thing.
I'm really pleased we separate them, because can you
I know,
imagine
the chaos.
sifting through one WhatsApp chat?
Yeah.
It would be
It really would.
ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
then
We're
I
very
I
organised.
sent you a message this morning after I read it back, and I was like, why have I referred to myself in the third person? That Hannah needs to do this.
I love that. I love that.
Oh my
It gives
gosh.
us some sort of
Yeah,
responsibility,
it
doesn't
does.
it? That
Yeah,
someone's told us to do something.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I like
Brilliant.
that.
Oh, lovely. Right, I'm off to make a brew.
Yeah, I'm
It's
empty
that
here.
time.
I definitely need another one after all that chit chat.
Me too. Oh, lovely speaking to you, and thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.